Mike, I anticipated, I'm off work on Mondays. The Phillies press conference at 1:30. That was good entertainment. Had a buffalo chicken dip ready to go.
Oh, nice.
Wife makes a good dip.
Boy, my wife makes an amazing buffalo chicken dip. That's interesting. That's an interesting coincidence.
thing.
I'm sorry to get you off track here. Make it happen, big fella.
The Phillies had a press conference. They
Yes.
had the Four Aces there. No, that's not a musical group. It's their pitching staff plus Joe. That's what they should go with, the Four Aces and Joe. They had a big press conference with the starting staff of the Phillies, and it was very interesting to see how this went down. These players are not hype. They don't need the limelight. They don't want this. It's so anti-LeBron James. It's so... And other stations, it wasn't just Comcast Sportsnet had their two stations there. The baseball MLB network picked it up. ESPN had... So this went all over and were sports, but it was so anti what you see right now with press conferences because you could... Roy Oswalt had his arms crossed. He didn't seem like these guys even wanted to be there. Your take on the press conference?
I don't think they did. And you talk about LeBron. I'm even thinking a little bit of Cam Newton having a workout for the media, not even for football scouts, for the media. The way that the media has come to be used and perceived is just an amazing thing. And central to that, I think, is this idea of a press conference as entertainment, which we've all gotten used to. Well, you're cranking up the buffalo dip and sitting down to have a good time watching a press conference. Those of us who attend press conferences as part of our job look at that so differently. Look at it as a way of just extracting information, not really a show, not really entertainment. And the idea of press conference as a show is a relatively new thing. I'm going to go back to the Gulf War and Schwarzkopf. Those were the first press conferences that, to me, were kind of where he was kind of self-consciously putting on a show, and the press was asking these questions that are. And I remember the public reaction was, "God, those are stupid questions. Those reporters are so stupid." Well, sometimes you have to ask a stupid question in order to, in fact, frequently, in order to get a response. You're trying to get a quote. We're trying to extract information and quotes in these press conferences, and it's just odd, at least from my perspective. It's very, very odd. And I think from Cliff Lee and Roy Oswalt and Roy Halladay's perspective, it's odd to see a press conference kind of, I don't know, I almost use the word denigrate into a show. That's not the right word, but become a show. It's strange.
It was interesting to see that. Now, I've been to some of these as well. I was disappointed with some of the questions. They were rehashing things that they already have done with these players, one. Two, to ask them about cheesesteaks. Cliff Lee got asked about cheesesteaks the one time, if that was the reason. Some of it was dumb. I think the players could have given some better answers. The other thing I thought was interesting is people don't realize this. This is one of the last times you're going to hear some of these pitchers talk. Roy Halladay doesn't like to talk to the media. This is why they had a press conference. You got what you got right now, guys. You're not going to see me for a while. He talks after games because he has to, but he's not very accessible. He's polite when he says to you he's still working out, but he doesn't talk. These other guys, Cliff Lee, they're not going to be talking a whole lot. So this was get it out of your systems now, people. The media, get what you need because you're not going to see me.
And this is get it out of your system on February 14th for a baseball player for baseball season. But the funny thing about it is, again, I think what you just said is I understand what you're saying, but it's in the context of the way we normally expect the media to interact with athletes. Even if Roy Halladay only talks when he pitches, well, that's every fifth day that he's talking to the media. That's more than Obama talks to the media in a regular sort of organized way like that. We just have come to expect. It's really interesting the way the proliferation of media has changed sports and the way we've all sort of gradually gotten used to it. It is what it is. It's part of the world.
It is what it is. I thought some of the questions yesterday, interesting. They wanted to have all five pitchers there. Okay, we're talking Halladay, Lee, Hamels, Oswalt, Joe Bland. It's the Four Aces and Joe.
What's wrong with this picture?
It's almost like Joe Bland's like the fifth Beatle. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. Let me defend Joe for a second. Since he's joined the Phillies, I'm pretty close on this. 25-14. He's got a very good record as a Philly. In that situation. Is he an ace? No. Is he a third pitcher who's going to be pitching fifth in the rotation? Yeah. He's not a bad pitcher to have there for depth. Now, what was interesting was these pitchers, the Four Aces, said, we want Joe up here with us. There's five of us. Yet, when Jason Stark asked the question, not related to me, although we've joked about it, who's your favorite starting staff of all time? Cliff Lee says, oh, the Braves. He names all four of them and says, I don't even know who the fifth guy was, but they were pretty good. I thought, please.
Difference in how you
Please.
perceive the media when it's directed at you and when you're sort of the consumer. That's a great example of it. That's amazing.